The user interface inside Zbrush is built to allow you to easily navigate and maximize the amount of space you have to sculpt with. In the center, we have the canvas workspace, also known as the document. Near the top, we have what is called Lightbox, which will allow you to access default files, projects, and models. At the top, you have what are known as palettes, which are listed from left to right in alphabetical order. These palettes contain all the tools and functions inside of Zbrush. On the left, right, and bottom, we have shelves that we can open and close by clicking the double arrows. The left and right shelves allow us to dock our palettes for easy access when working on your projects, while the bottom shelf will give us the capacity to add customized buttons, which we will discuss later in this video. If I wanted to dock my alpha palette, I can simply open that up, and you can see that we have this circle icon. By clicking this icon, I can separate this palette and drag it to the right or left, and let go to dock into the shelf. It is just as easy to remove a palette. By simply clicking on the circle icon again, I can remove this palette from the shelf. Another way to dock a palette is by holding the Alt key and clicking on any button or function to quickly load that parented palette and dock it onto the shelf. All of these buttons and functions you can see currently in the default user interface have been pulled from various palettes to give you easier access to these features. So you can see when I hover on the standard brush here on the left, the standard brush is also highlighted on the right inside the brush palette. If I were to continue to add palettes into the shelves, I can quickly fill up the space provided. Zbrush allows you to scroll up and down through the shelves, so I could essentially fit all of the palettes into one shelf. To conserve space, I can simply click on the title of the palette to collapse it. By clicking the Tab key, Zbrush will collapse the UI surrounding the document, leaving me more room to work inside my document space. As you continue to work inside Zbrush, you may find that you would like to move things around and have even greater control of where your tools are located in the UI. To help you to achieve this, Zbrush has the ability to create a customized UI. To create a custom UI, located in the Preferences palette, click open the Config subpalette, and you will see here we have the toggleable button Enable Customize. By toggling this button to on, I am simply telling Zbrush that I would like to start moving tools and functions in specific places. This means that almost everything can be moved and manipulated to make it easier for me to work freely. If I wanted to create my own shelf of brushes, I could open up the brush palette, switch to a desired brush, and by holding the Control plus the Alt key, I can drag my brush to any location that gives me this white outlined box. This is a great way for me to mainly set my workspace with even more control than before, which allows me to work faster and access the buttons I like to use most. To remove any additions I have made, I can simply click Ctrl and Alt again and drag my icon to the canvas to remove it. If I go back down to the Preferences palette, you can see that we have a number of other options. For example, by opening the Interface subpalette, I have the option to control how interface items are displayed and how interface grouping is applied. Among these, I can open up the Custom UI subpalette. By toggling the Custom UI button to on again, you will see we have the option to create a new menu. By clicking this button, I can create and title my own menu. You can see now that we have a new menu added alphabetically into my palettes at the top here. If I dock my new menu onto the shelf, I now have the ability to customize this menu with any brushes, sliders, and icons I would like to add. Once you have a desired custom UI, toggling off the Enable Customize button will tell Zbrush that you are done moving parts around and you're ready to continue working. You have the option to save the UI or load in a previously saved UI. You also have the capacity to store a configuration. This means that whatever state your UI is in at the time of clicking this button, Zbrush will know that each time you boot up the application, The last stored configuration will be preloaded at startup. When it comes to the design and layout of ZBrush, you truly have the control to set up an interface that fits for you as an artist. ZBrush allows you to not only change the layout, but also the color of the buttons and sliders. By scrolling up to the top here, we have these two arrow icons which allow us to apply customized preset colors. I can scrub through each preset that has its own unique color set. If I decided I'd liked a preset so much that I wanted ZBrush to automatically load this color scheme, as we've already discussed, then I could go back to my Preferences palette and click Store Configuration. A more advanced option is the ability to manually modify the color arrangement of the UI. By scrolling down in the Preferences palette, you'll find the Eye Color subpalette. As you can see, you have a number of options to choose from that will allow you to completely customize the look of your buttons and sliders. By clicking and dragging from any of these color boxes, I get my color picker, which will allow me to either select any color from my current UI or also select a color from my color palette. This truly gives you full creative control of the entire workspace, where you will be designing and creating artwork inside of ZBrush.